All right, good evening. We are back with our campaign, Witness to Ruin, here on the Science and Sorcery channel, and we are in the final stretch, folks. It's getting hot in here. Um, I do not want my characters or their players to take off their clothes. And in fact, they're not going to get the chance to because they're in a mad dash to stop an evil cult from unleashing a titan. Um, you are on a flying carpet, hurtling through the skies. You stop for a quick shopping trip to restock some supplies in the capital city of Lishold, and you are now heading to the Lost Isle, hoping to beat the cult, the fissure there, um, and free the champion of the goddess of destruction so that she can unleash hell in a hopefully good way. It's going to take a couple of hours to get there. So, how are you preparing to enter this cursed island, which no one has set foot on in about 30 years?
I think Nimbo is meditating. Um, Nimbo would be trying to commune with, to a certain extent, Vias, but especially Varea. Um, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the sibling of chaos and this whole kind of duality thing. Um, just checking in, if possible, to, to be like, essentially, we're about to do something big, something that might have big consequences for the world and for you. Um, how how are you feeling about that?
Make me make me a religion check, please.
Guide me.
He's back, baby.
So that's a 2 on the dice, plus 3 from guidance, which is 5, plus my modifier of 4, so that's a 9. These rolls, man.
I think you
Oh,
need to get some new dice,
oh,
maybe from
I'm
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie RPG. Purveyors of wonderful math rocks. I'm actually going to use my moment of awesome to do better.
Okay, absolutely.
Because I really
You
want
can
to.
re-roll.
I really want to contact my god.
You can keep the 3 on the guidance, but re-roll the d20.
No,
It's,
no,
I mean,
really?
it's better. It's better, but it's a 5. So that's a 5 plus 7. So that's 12.
Okay. You get a response, but it's not a. You're not sure how she's feeling about this,
Same
but you do feel a presence sort of settle around you and within you.
You know what? I've been starved of attention from Varea for a while. I'll take it.
She's been busy, but she's here now.
Yeah, so I think Nimbo is sitting kind of ideally near the center of the carpet, cross-legged, and just kind of
It's a
circle
pretty tight
breathing.
squeeze on the carpet, so I'm assuming this means you've got 2 people sitting on your knees.
Great. Yeah, probably like in terms of balance of the carpet, probably best if it's M and Blurter.
Probably. Yeah. And speaking of M and Blurta, what are you 2 up to?
I think M's probably sitting transcribing some new spells into the spell book, thinking about like what's coming up ahead and trying to just make sure that knowledge they've been trying to build on is ready. There might be some. I mean, the end of the world's coming, and we're still only a bunch of teenagers that are being forced to confront this. And I don't know that my magic's strong enough, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to look at Yarrow, this eagle that is probably flying alongside the carpet right now, and just be like, why, why is this all happening? I still don't. We're not going to I don't know that we're going to make it out of this, pal.
Well, we have to, right?
I mean,
we're in this together, and you know, to be in this, we have to be alive. So
I hope
we're gonna be grand.
Yeah, I hope so. You get some rest. Come sit on the carpet.
All right. And just like looks around and then just settles like in Nimbo's hair. Seems like the most comfortable place.
Unless the talons get involved, Nimbo probably just doesn't notice.
No, he's just like he's gently holding on but not tugging.
I'm just communing, you know.
Nestles down. Blurta, Muck.
I think Berta is personally just getting her makeup on point. Like, if you're going to save the world, you got to make sure you're looking your best.
Also,
And,
now having 2 eyes, you've got a lot more.
Exactly,
like,
it's like
area
you've got to
with.
remake the look.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It is soothing to you to prepare in this manner. And Muck.
I think while all of you are in a kind of like nice meditation puddle at the back of the carpet, I'm at the front practicing my defensive stances. So every now and again, the carpet just like jerks to one side and jerks to the other. Muck has relied a lot on just raw power through most of this campaign, but is now potentially thinking a little bit more about defensive tactics, and getting herself out of some of those pickles she's been in before. So yeah, I think Muck is kind of in battle mode. And while she's doing this, maybe she's half-heartedly trying to tap in and see if Idol's got anything to say.
Okay. If you're half-heartedly checking in with him, can you make me a religion check at disadvantage, please?
Yep.
Multitasking.
Exactly.
Okay, that is a 3.
Wow.
You know
These
what?
teenagers have got other things on their minds than God right now.
You're not hearing anything from him, but you bet he's proud of your defensive maneuvers.
Yeah.
You bet he's happy with his choice of champion.
Yeah, Muck is just like feeling herself right now, just like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. Yeah.
Phrasing.
You cross the lake on your carpets, and from the sky you begin to see the details of the Lost Isle. And what you see is destruction. Even 30 years later, the havoc that was wreaked by the first and the more recent second earthquake is very much apparent. The entire isle is covered in structures, primarily temples and places of healing, and every single one is destroyed in some manner. Roofs caved in, pillars toppled, except for one. As you fly over the Temple of Chorus, god of the home, you see a force field projecting around it, pulsating, keeping off a horde of undead creatures which attempt to batter its way inside. Amongst the undead which litter this island, you see shadow-like apparitions of healers and patients moving as they did in real life, flickering in and out of existence. The sky turns darker, not because of any clouds, not because of the time of day, but because of the aura emanating from this land. Strange golden lights flicker across it as you pass through this miasma of energy. You spot the Temple of Chaos from the distance. It's a hexagonal building with what were once great marble statues on each point. The roof at what you think is the back has caved in, and the stairways leading up to it have cracked. As you get closer to the ground, this strange, thick, purple mist fills the air, and I need everyone to please make me a Constitution saving throw. This is poison, in case you have advantage on checks against poison.
Does this have anything to do with fiends, undead, or aberrations?
This would relate to undead, yes.
Good. That's the same low roll.
We're flying headfirst at TPK here. It's great.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to change the brand. That's a 9
That's a failure.
with advantage.
Blurta?
5.
That's a failure.
7.
Failure. Muck?
17, baby.
Ah.
Yeah.
Success.
All right, Mark is going to be dragging our corpses out of this island.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is going to make things a little bit awkward. As Muck, you, I assume, quickly put a piss rag to your mouth, breathing through it. The piss doesn't smell nearly as bad as the air here, and you avoid taking a level of exhaustion.
Oof.
Ooh.
No, we genuinely were heading towards a TPK now. If we all got
I was
fucking
not
exhaustion.
expecting 3 of you to badly.
Okay.
Why not? We're
think-
terrible
I
at rolling.
I think I am, like, I see this kind of mist, like acrid mist rolling in, and my hand goes to my pouch where I do keep one of Muck's piss rags, but then like just as I'm about to put it to my face, I go and hesitate, and that little moment of hesitation is what costs me that saving throw.
Because this is exhaustion caused by the effects of poison, I'm going to allow you to use Lesser Restoration to get rid of this level of exhaustion.
Phew. Okay. In that case, I will use 3 second level slots,
Okay.
and I will restore all 3 of us.
Okay.
Thank
In
you.
what order are you restoring them?
In my cleric training,
Yes.
emphasized, you want to make sure that you are safe before you help others, because otherwise you end up with more people who need saving.
Yeah.
So
Airplane tactics.
We're on
Yeah.
a magic carpet. These are
exactly
falling down.
right. In fact, this is how it manifests. Out from underneath the bottom of the hovering carpet.
Yeah.
Ping! 3 little
Mhm.
little Mars, 3 little piss rags on strings come down. Apply your own piss rag before helping those next to you.
So you cast Lesser Restoration on yourself. The carpet continues to descend and begins to approach the entrance to the temple. Who are you casting it on next?
I'm gonna cast it on M next, because I think Blurta probably carries herself with more confidence and kind of pretending that it's not a big deal.
Blurt is
So-
already really pale, so it's difficult
Yeah.
to tell which is what.
That smoky eye disguises the bags.
Mm.
So I'll restore M, and then
Yep.
third I'll do Blurta.
That's still like glad that we're not exhausted, but that is a lot of spell slots. to
Yeah,
lose.
so I'm gonna drink a Gatorade. I'm gonna. So
Before
I
you
bought.
do that, as you begin to cast the spell on Blurta, the carpet has now reached the ground, and you all watch as what you thought were bone piles lying either side of the entrance to this temple begin to rattle and shake, and 2 giant snake-like creatures made entirely of skeleton appear and move in to attack.
Fly up, fly up, fly up, fly back up, fly back
We're
up.
gonna roll initiative.
So
So that is a chance you could Blurta could command the carpet to move on her turn.
are these like snake skeletons, but giant?
Snake skeletons.
Or are they like made of humanoid
No.
skeletons?
They are snake skeletons, but really big.
Okay, so now
That's
I roll well.
Less disconcerting than the alternative. So
Which is good, because you haven't yet finished casting Lesser Restoration on Blurta.
Uh-huh.
You need to finish that on your turn.
So have I started casting it?
I'm gonna say not necessarily, so you can
Great.
decide whether
I might
like you are
hold
on the
off.
verge of casting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how many ability checks is Blurta going to make in combat right now? Like,
Ability checks, yes, it's just
yeah,
ability
so
checks.
I
not attack
think,
rolls.
sorry, Alex, but I might hold off on healing you until after combat, because
that's fine.
let's live first, and then we can be healthy.
Alright. Nimba, what did you get for initiative?
I got a 15.
Nice.
Oh, wait, I have
Uh,
advantage. I got a 16.
Nice. M.
21.
What's your dex mod again?
+3.
I do not like that question.
Especially not when it means I have to flip a coin. You're gonna go second, M. Muck.
19.
Okay, and Blurta.
12.
Okay. In that case, first up is one of the snake creatures. You are at present about like a good 45 feet away from it still. So it is going to need to dash. You watch all these snake ribs begin to move and slide as it approaches you at a rapid pace. Getting up in Muck's face, because Muck's at the front of the carpet. It bares its fangs at you and hisses. But that's all it can do on its turn, which brings us to M next.
I'm going to look at this collection of bones and be like, I'm going to try and just break it apart and cast Shatter right in the center of it.
Science fact. These
Yes?
being probably old bones, I assume, it means that... So bone is a composite of like a crystalline kind of calcium mineral part and a protein part, which is like more flexible. And so, for example, if you soak a bone in acid, it gets rid of the mineral part and it gets all floppy. If you cook a bone, or if you let it get very old and dry, the protein part has been degraded and you're left with brittle, like the calcium part. So I'm assuming that these would be kind of brittle.
Or floppy snakes, which is
It's a Constitution saving throw, Sam. That's a 12, which I believe will fail.
That
so
will
go ahead and
fail.
roll your damage.
We're going to take 3d8 damage.
I'm assuming you're also targeting it in a way that you don't hit Muck.
Yeah,
Shatter. It's a large sized creature, so that is easily done.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I just want to blow up my friend.
What? Just jealous.
I got a 2 7s and a 4 for 18 points of damage.
Nice. Okay, yeah. And it is definitely shattered a bit as bones like splinter off as this thunderous energy hits them. Muck, you are up next unless M has a bonus action. Or movement.
That's me.
All right, I would like to attempt to hit the giant snake.
Go for it.
So I'm using my great weapon, master. So I got 19 minus 5, 14. Oh, is it going to be hard? It's big. It's big.
Did you roll a nat 19?
Oh, is that a crit? Yeah. Wait, no,
If you
no,
roll
no,
an
no.
eight- If it's 19 on the dice is a crit.
No.
Okay.
10 plus 9
A
minus
14,
5, 14.
14 will just miss.
Okay, in that case, I'm not going to use my great weapon master now, and I'm just going to
Yep.
try and hit it.
Go for it.
Okay, actually, I got a 16 on the dice, so I'm guessing I'm hitting
You're
it.
gonna be fine. Yes, yeah. AC's
Okay.
15.
Great, and I'm going to use my bonus action as I've been thinking about these defensive moves. One of the powers that Idor's imbued my sword with means that I can use a power called the Bad. So the next target I hit must make an opposed athletics check or be pushed 40 feet away. So I'd
Yeah.
like to activate the Bad and then
Make
hit.
me an athletics check, and
Good
it will roll one as well, but at advantage because it's size large.
Cool. Athletics check. Did you say with advantage?
No, it has advantage.
Oh, okay. 15 on my athletics check.
17 for it, so you're unable to push it away.
No problem. I'm still gonna hit it. Oh,
Yes, you do.
6 plus
damage.
5 plus 6, 17 damage.
Nice.
Now, during my period of long rest and training, I've also gained the prowess of a slasher. So when I hit a creature with an attack that deals slashing damage, I can reduce its speed by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Absolutely. Yeah, you cut off, so snake ribs are like its feet, and you manage to slice through with your sword and shatter several of the ribs, hampering its ability to move. However, you do see some of the bone shards are starting to pull back towards it. It's not healing, but its speed isn't going to be reduced permanently.
Okay.
This brings us to Nimbo next.
Okay, so only one of the snakes is up in our face right now.
Yes, the other one's about 45 feet away.
Okay, so I'll hold off on the thing I was gonna do. Yeah, I think I'm just turning towards Blurta to to restore her, and then all of this happens, and so instantly in action mode. So I pull out my club, and it glows with holy energy as I cast Shillelagh, and I am gonna take a swing at this thing.
Go for it.
So, that's gonna be a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Great. So, this is gonna be 1d8 plus 5 bludgeoning, and then
Yep.
an extra 1d8 thunder.
Give me them separately, please.
And with these brittle bones, I'm hoping one of them does something cool.
Yes.
So that's 9 bludgeoning and 7 thunder.
It is vulnerable to bludgeoning damage, so that's going to be 18 bludgeoning and 7 thunder.
Sick.
And I have to do more math.
And when I deal lightning damage, oh, that was lightning.
Lightning,
that's fine.
yes.
Yep.
It is bloodied at this point with
Well,
that
it's,
second
dusty.
hit. It's very dusty, yes. Yes. Yeah, it is below half hit points. As you smash, you'll have had to, you basically like stood up, removed M and Blurta from your knees, and there's still a burn on your head, and you're just like walk up and smash your club into the side of this bone creature.
Yeah, I'm imagining like the kind of the eagle on my head is kind of doing that thing where it's kind of waving its wings to retain balance a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. And Blurta, you're up next.
So, is directing the carpet a bonus action or an action?
I would need to double check the rules of the carpet. Let me see. I did not think this question was gonna come up. As an action.
Okie dokie. So that changes my plans slightly. I will instruct the carpet to sort of rise up out of striking distance of these
Okay.
snakes.
You are, in that case, it's going to take an attack of opportunity against Muck. Actually,
It's been pushed back, all right.
it's not been pushed back.
It
Oh
succeeded
no,
its
its
It
speed
had
upgrade.
its
was
speed
reduced.
Speed reduced.
The first people to leave it has 10-foot reach, so it's either going to attack M or Blurta, because you're the first two who are going to move out of reach. It's going to go for Blurta. That's going to be a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Can you make me a charisma saving throw, please?
Thankfully, I can. That'll be a 23.
Yeah, you do not become frightened.
Unfazed.
But you are going to take, that is 8 points of piercing damage.
Mhm.
And 6 points of poison damage.
So it's not a constrictor. It's biting,
It's a
venomous.
bitey guy. He's got big fangs. But you do continue to move the carpet up until you're. How far up do you want to go?
Like just out of its sort of striking range, basically.
Okay, so it's about 15 feet up then.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, because it's a large creature. It's about 25 feet up.
Okay. And I will. In this case, I will cast. No, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be just and cast a healing word on myself.
Okay, go for it. All right, that brings us to the second of the snake creatures, which is going to move. It's gonna. Actually, seeing you move back out of reach, it's going to hunker down slightly in its spot. And just sort of watch to see what you're gonna do next. So it's not getting closer. Top of the next round, the other snake begins to retreat about 30, or actually 20 feet, its full movement for this round, towards the temple entrance. It's keeping a wary eye on you, but it can't currently reach you. Which brings us to M, up next.
Yeah, before we get started, just like a science fact, thinking about the venom like versus constricting. Did you guys know that like venom evolved just once, like 170 million years ago? It was a one-time evolution into Toxiforma, and then diversified out into the huge amount of diversification that we have in venom. So.
Is that just in the vertebrate venom, or?
So Toxocyphera is the group there, which I think is probably more than just.
But I mean that's different to say like arachnid venom, for instance.
Like Toxocyphera is reptiles mostly. So
cool.
like within reptiles, like evolved just the once. But then you have three kind of like main types of venom that have been developed as well. Like I absolutely love like looking at all the different things that particularly snakes and like lizards can do. The favorite ones being the ones that just make your blood congeal completely and just stop being able to move.
That's like rattlesnake venom, right?
Yeah. So rattlesnakes like are the ones that if you've ever seen any sort of kind of snake milking and watch what the venom does to blood in a petri dish, it just becomes a jelly. It's awful, but it's so interesting as well.
I
so
keep forgetting to do this.
Amazing.
I think Khalil has one as well. Alex, did you have a science fact?
Not really.
Not
That
yet.
was more a clarification point.
So it's retreating into the entrance.
It doesn't. The one that had rushed up to you hasn't gotten all the way back because its speed's been reduced. But it's moved closer to the entrance again.
Okay. I'm gonna. We've flown up into the air.
Yes.
I'm gonna just like reach into my pack and take out like a little vial of something, and cast catapult on the one that's retreating.
Absolutely. Is that a ranged attack or a dex save?
It's a dex save.
Cool. That's a 7.
Okay, so it's gonna take 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
Which is 4 + 4 + 2, 10 points of bludgeoning
Double
damage.
to 20.
Amazing.
You can see it's vulnerable.
Okay, so that was just the first level. And we're high in the air. I'm just going to leave it at that. That's a bunch of damage. I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. Bring us to Muck. You're 25 feet up in the air.
Sorry about that. My headphones just switched themselves off.
Good.
Okay, so science fact. You may already know this one, but snakes don't have like external ears, obviously, but they do have little holes on the side of their head. And as well as not having external ears, they also don't have a middle ear or an eardrum. They only have an inner ear that is connected to their jawbone. And that's because sounds from kind of the air aren't as important to them as sounds that are transferred through the ground. So those vibrations are primarily what they pick up from the world around them.
But additionally, just to like debunk it as well, that snakes aren't deaf.
No, they're not
Yeah.
deaf. They have ears, but not like our ears at all. Okay, so am I on this carpet 25 feet in the air?
Yeah. You are, and you threw your bow into a river a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm remembering that now.
Like,
I
I
might just
remember
have to-
Mark has no ranged options. I don't know if anyone else does.
Yeah, I might have to just get down and dirty with it at this point. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna jump. Wait, yeah, I'm going to use my bonus action to hit my little ring of jumping
Okay.
so that I can safely descend to the ground. And once I'm on the ground,
Yeah, I'll allow that.
am I close to a snake? The
Actually,
bloodied snake?
can you make me an acrobatics check to land? The ring does help, so I'll give you advantage on this.
Okay. Ooh, dirty 20.
Okay, yeah. You like throw yourself off, and do like a tuck and
A flip.
roll as you land. Oh, you can do flips on the way down, absolutely.
Yeah,
yes,
I want to do
sure.
and then
Um,
land where it's like,
Yeah. You land and you're about 20 feet away from the snake.
okay.
So.
Can I
But
move?
because your
15
jump
feet?
was mostly falling, I will let you move up to it.
Woohoo! Yes, I'd like to move up to the snake. Is this the
Yes.
bloodied one or the
Yep.
other one?
This is the bloody one.
Perfect. I'm going to use my great weapon master to try and hit it. Don't
Mhm.
worry about that. That is another 14.
That will
Incredible.
miss.
And let's try it again. Yeah, 26 minus 5
That
is
will
20.
hit. That will hit. Roll your damage.
I have used my bonus action, so let's ignore that. That is 17 damage, and I'll use my slasher thingy to reduce its speed again.
All right. It's still up, but it is looking very, very rough.
Good.
Yeah. However, at the end of your turn, Muck, you notice something begin to squeeze its way through a gap in the broken temple wall. It's a very small gap, maybe about an inch wide, and this, what you first think is just a pool of blood, starts coming through until it just, you realize it's not stopping. And a giant ooze appears on the temple steps near the other snake creature. And just checking in my head where you are. Yes, it can get to you. Moves another 20 feet. It's about 15 feet away from you, and it lashes out its tendrils at you.
In a friendly
So-
way? Or
No, in a this
Okay.
it has four attacks type of way.
well, that seems
Oh
unfair.
my.
Natural 20.
Don't look so happy,
No,
Dagmar.
no, I got my doll. Reroll that, please.
I was
With
wait. I
my
was.
idle
It was. It was less a smile and more. I'm expecting someone to do something about this.
Yeah,
I will
absolutely.
re-roll that one.
Wait. I don't know if I'm allowed to even do that. I can't do that. That is not my ability.
And I'm
Does
too
any-
far away to chrono
Yeah.
shift.
Oh, okay.
Ignore, just
It's
hit me then.
Natural 20. Then an 18, which I believe misses with your new
That
armor.
misses. That misses.
Natural 1. And 14. So only the first one is going to hit. And it is going to grapple you and drag you 10 feet closer towards it.
Okay.
I like
And
how
you were
we're
going to
being
take-
beaten up by Sam's science fact.
I know, right? I feel like that's.
Yes. I was trying not to laugh when you were telling us about blood coagulation. You're going to take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Reduced to 6
6. Yes.
because I'm tough.
And you are grappled by this creature. That was its turn, which brings us to Nimbo next.
Okay. Seeing all this happen, Nimbo's gonna be like, fuck this. And I'm gonna follow Muck. I know I'm not as nimble, but I'm gonna jump off and try and superhero land,
Okay.
roughly equidistant between these two snakes. I want to have like
The snakes are about 40 feet away from you, like lengthwise.
Great. Oh, cool. I just want to get within 30 feet of both of them.
That should be possible, but can you first make me an acrobatics check to try to land?
Avec plaisir. That's a 5.
As you fall, you fling yourself off the carpet after Muck, and you just belly flop. You're going to take 9 points of bludgeoning damage as
I'll
you hit the
take
ground and you land prone.
Ow!
But you do still have all your half your movement. Which...
Okay, I'll use the other half to stand up.
So you have all your movement once you stand up.
Okay.
Half
So
your movement
I'll
once
use
you
half
stand
my
up,
movement to
sorry.
stand up. Kind of dust myself off. And I'll use my action to... I will clutch my amulet and I will lie back and think of Vyas. Varaya or Vyas, both of them. And I'm going to turn undead.
Ooh. What kind of save do they roll?
Wisdom, please. How wise are these giant snake skeletons?
13 for the one closer to Muck. 13 for the other one.
Big old fail. So, for the next minute,
18 for the blood creature.
that will pass, I
Okay.
believe. But it's good to know it's undead.
Mhm.
Yeah, the DC is 16. So a turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of me. It also
Cool.
can't take reactions. For its
Mhm.
action, it can only use dash or try to escape from a grapple or other effect that prevents it from moving.
Absolutely.
And this lasts for 1 minute or until it takes any damage.
Cool. Sounds good. In that case, that is your action movement. You have a bonus action.
Yeah. How messed up is Blurter still?
I'm only down like 4 hit points.
Okay. Sorry, I should have thought about this in advance. No, I'm gonna. Yeah. Are we bonus action potioning? I can't remember.
Yes.
I will chug a Gatorade. I'm gonna take a potion of mana.
Mhm.
So I need to make a con save.
You need new dice. Need new dice.
Valkyrie hit me up. That's gonna be a 6.
Okay, you're gonna take some
but I'm gonna
necrotic damage.
add my nerd dice.
Go for it.
That's gonna be an 11.
You are not gonna take any necrotic damage.
Phew.
DC is
Okay.
10 if you're. I'm assuming you're taking the regular potion.
Yes.
That's DC 10.
Great. Okay, cool. I have 2 of my spell slots back. Okay, let's go.
Nice.
And with the
Okay.
rest of my movement, I will try to get as close as I can to Muck.
You would have had to use the rest of your movement to get within 30 feet of everything.
Great. Cool.
You're like exactly 30 feet away from
Perfect.
stuff,
I'm
and
happy with
about
that.
10 feet away from the closer of the snake creatures.
Cool.
Blurta, you're up next.
So, I am going to Eldritch Blast the cube or the slime.
Mhm.
Having been shooting lasers at my eye for this time, this is the first time I've done it with the dragon powers. So she sort of like gathers her hands to her face, sort of like breathes in a sort of cold blast into her hands, and then blasts it out forward.
Amazing. Go ahead and roll your attacks.
Well, that was pants.
It's like the magical version of spitting on your hand before you slap someone.
One is 10 and one is 17.
10 and 17 both hit.
Oh, okay, nice.
It's a news.
Ooze. Okay, the first blast does maximum damage for 15. The second does minimum damage for 6.
Okay, it is not resistant to force damage, so it takes all of that. Yep, that's all it can do.
Perfect.
take damage.
And that's like, not got quite the style. I can work with this.
All right. That brings us to the second of the snake creatures, which is going to use its action to move as far away from Nimbo as possible. And it sort of slides off the edge of like the temple steps and disappears around the corner of the building. That brings us to the first one, who is going to dash as well, leaving Muck's reach. So you can take an attack of opportunity if you want to. Cool. It's going to follow the first one. And that brings us to M.
Okay, so it's just this ooze. I am gonna hit it with a firebolt.
Go for it.
I'm still up in the air, right? We're still like...
Yes. Yeah.
That is going to be 23. Hold on, 16.
That will
on the
hit.
dice. 2d10. 11 points of fire damage.
11 points of fire damage. Nice.
I'm going to watch the other two jump, and I'm going to jump as well.
Make me an acrobatics check, please.
Yep, absolutely.
Bert is just there while everyone's like jumping out of the car. Just like, what are you doing?
If all your friends were going to jump off a
But
magic
also the
carpet,
fact that you followed Nimbo, who just face planted.
All happening at the same time. 15.
Okay. You're not going to land prone, but you are going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's fine.
I like how there's 3 very different landings. We've got like the front flip superhero landing, you know, then we've got the
And then all four.
and then we've got and then the slight tweak of the ankle on it.
You see, like,
You've still got you've got 30 feet of movement as well, which can get you up to the ooze if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that and go all the way up.
Cool. You are next to the ooze. Muck, you're grappled by an ooze.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. Can I try and get out of that? Oh, sorry, bless.
can I
It's a Mhm.
point out that that I would have also shoved the ooze back with my impacts, which should have separated them.
Yes, you're right. It should have. Yeah, you're no longer grappled by the
Nice.
ooze. Which
Yeah.
also, and it's not next to the ooze, and neither are you, Muck.
I think that's good. That I don't want to be right next to it.
Yeah.
Says the one who just went up to it.
So it can squeeze through the wall, so we should probably kill it before we go in. Okay. Yeah, I would like to move within 5 foot of the ooze.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna use Great Weapon Master. Let's see how this goes. What's that? 24 minus 5 is 19.
Hits.
Amazing. Bonus action. Wait, can an ooze be prone?
That's a philosophical question there.
Let's just
I mean-
forget about it.
It seems like it's always prone.
Yeah. No, it's just I have
It's a
the
blob. The good
Yeah,
is not
let's-
going to work on it.
the good is not going to work.
No.
But I will still activate it in case I get a bonus, in case I get an attack of opportunity or whatever.
Absolutely.
So yeah, activate the good. Damage time. Hwah. I can re-roll a 2, so that's 12 damage plus 4, so 16 damage, and I'd like to reduce its movement speed.
You reduce its movement speed. You slash into this creature, and it doesn't do quite as much as you were hoping it would.
Cool, no
as it
worries.
just sort of reforms again after your blade passes through it.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm just going to do it again, really.
Go for it.
So, and also, sorry, I forgot it's an extra 10 damage because I used my Great Weapon Master.
So that's another 5 it will take. Yeah.
So that is a dirty 20 to hit.
Hits.
With
Hits,
Great
hits.
Weapon Master.
Yep.
So then that is 10 plus, I'm re-rolling a 2. 10 plus 4, 14 plus 10, 24 damage, half to 12.
Amazing. Yep. You
End
slice
turn.
through it again. It, especially up close, it genuinely just looks like a big lump of blood, and it is quite unsettling.
Cool.
That brings it to its turn, and it's going to start with 2 attacks against Muck and 2 attacks against M, who is still within its reach. So against Muck, natural 5, which will miss, and a 24,
Yeah, that will
which
hit.
will hit. As you are once again grappled and dragged like up next to it. That is going to be 6 points of bludgeoning damage, Muck.
Cool.
And against M. That is going to be a 24 to hit on the first strike,
Mm-hmm.
and an 11 on the second, which will
Okay.
miss. As you are also grappled and dragged closer. And that's going to be a 10 bludgeoning damage to M.
Cool.
Yep, that's its turn. Which brings us to Nimbo.
Okay. I
You're
don't.
30 feet away from it.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything that will be particularly effective against it, but let's try. I'm gonna. It's probably very conny. I'm just gonna attack it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move up to it
Mhm.
and make a weapon attack, which is gonna be a 16.
Hits.
So that's gonna be 12 bludgeoning, 3 thunder.
Okay, the bludgeoning is half, the thunder is not. Which is 9 damage total, which brings us to. I can do math. Yep,
I feel like
It is bloodied.
probably makes a really horrible noise, like
it does.
hitting,
It's just like.
hitting a big kind of oozed clot of blood,
Yeah.
and it kind of there's a kind of and
Yeah.
then the soft like of the wave of thunder energy going into it and just kind of rippling through like jelly.
It is not decreasing in size, but it does seem to be losing some vigor. It is bloodied at this point.
I mean, it started off bloodied.
Yes. Unlike the bones, which were dusty. Blurta, your turn.
Okay, well, I am going to stick with what works. 2 Eldritch
Absolutely.
Blasts.
Mm-hmm.
Those will definitely hit as they are both over 20.
Yep.
23 and 28. No, 25 respectively. First roll is another minimum roll, 6. And the second roll is 12.
Okay, this thing's starting to look back bad. You're pushing it back again, I assume.
Yes. I'm also at this point just going to, as the carpet's cleared up, I'm going to be reclining while I'm fighting this thing.
It's pushed back against like the door of the temple, and it cannot go back any further at this point. That was Splurta's turn. Snakes are just slithering away from that cleric, which brings us back to M.
I'm going to point at the ooze, and there's going to be a bell will appear in the middle of it as I cast Toll the Dead.
Okay.
I need it to make a wisdom save, please.
That's a 13.
Which
it is
fails.
immune to necrotic damage.
Balls. So I roll 13 and it takes nothing.
Yes, I'm sorry.
But it does sound cool.
It sounds real cool.
I mean, it's inside an ooze, so it's like playing a trumpet into a bowl of jelly.
It just sort of wobbles a bit with this wave of necrotic energy. You're 10 feet away from it. You can kind of feel this necrotic energy sort of pulsating off of it as well. It just sort of rolls off harmlessly.
Lovely. In which case, am I still grappled?
Nope.
No. I'm gonna move just 5 feet away, just to be a little bit further away
You
from
would
it.
be... Yep, that's fine.
Yep, and that's me.
Cool. Muck. Move up
Okay.
and hit.
I'm grappled, right?
You are not grappled.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm
Flirta
gonna...
pushing it back breaks the grapple.
All right, well, let's try and hit the damn thing with my
Go for
great
it.
weapons ability. No, that's a 3 on the dice. Let's keep moving.
What was the total for that?
12.
That hits.
Uh,
Were you
Okay.
using Great Weapon? Wait, were you
No.
using Great Weapon Master?
-5, so
Then
13.
it will not hit.
So my second roll was 27 total, minus
will
5
hit.
for 22.
That hits.
Let's see what the damage is. Okay, that is 23 damage. Halved.
To 11.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, this
Um,
thing's not looking good.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right, it is going to lash out at you again with its tentacles. 24
Come on, man. I
to
know
hit.
you're hurting, but you don't need to lash out.
Natural 20.
I'm tough.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to my chronal shifts like for now. 'cause
I
we've
just
got
wanted to
big
give
things
you the
coming.
chance to say them.
Yeah.
So 8 bludgeoning on the first hit, and
Reduced
you are once
to
again
5.
grappled, and 14 on the second,
Reduced to
Um,
11.
and then it's going to use its remaining 2 attacks to force you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh! Wow, that was so close to a 13, but it's actually a 5 plus 5 is 10.
Okay, that's a failure. As it squeezes you, you feel something in it draw up almost through osmosis your own blood, which begins to well out of your pores.
I should use my nerd dice. Okay.
Just doing math. You take 26 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, I should have used my doll. There are so many things I should have just used I didn't use. Okay, all right. Well, I would
right.
like some help.
Restoring those abilities up. Yeah. Whew. I don't know if this counts as a science fact. I once bled from my paws because I got my legs waxed for charity, and people could pay extra money to like do a strip themselves, and so that led to a lot of people who had never waxed anything, waxing my legs in public, and yeah, some of them did it so badly that I oozed blood from my paws.
I don't know. I
Stunned
don't think
silence.
that's a science fact. I feel bad for you, but I don't think I should give you a dice.
Hello, that was really brave.
Nice.
This is why we come to Science and Sorcery, to have these
Hashtag
real
relatable
conversations.
Sorry, I derailed this. Okay, so you've had your legs waxed by this ooze.
Yeah.
Ugh. How are you looking?
17 out of 68.
Okay.
Yeah, it is Nimbo's turn.
All right. Seeing that battering this ooze isn't really doing a huge amount, and then seeing my friend have her blood extracted through her skin, and we're like, okay, back to basics. And I'll rub my hands together, and I'm gonna cast a 2nd level Cure Wounds,
Okay.
which is going to heal you for. Now I roll well. That's gonna be 20 healing points.
Nice. That's
Uh,
almost as much damage as much blood as was extracted.
Yeah, I think I'm just like grabbing with my magically imbued hands, trying to like grab this string of blood and trying to like tug it back out of the ooze back into
Yeah.
Mark.
Mark has really
Um,
big paws.
What is actually happening is you're trying to grab it back, and it's just absorbed it into itself and seems to have grown stronger from this. And instead, you're just like generating new blood out of thin air and pushing it into Muck's arms.
Yeah, like a shimmering celestial like wineskin with a long tube appears, and I'm holding it up here and like trying to IV it into you.
Yeah.
You've
So,
got a bonus action if you want.
So I'm gonna say that because this is divine blood, it is universal donor. It is like O-type blood.
I have a fun fact about universal donors. When I was born, all babies in the Netherlands get blood type when they're born, and I was O positive. And when I donated blood for the first time, I was O negative because my blood type changed,
Wow.
which is rare but possible.
Whoa. So like the reason that
Anyone can have my blood.
Is that a standing offer or
If you can get it, absolutely.
sign up to the Patreon? But science fact wise, the reason that blood groups work like donor and recipient is because you have like a set of like signal molecules on the outsides of your cells, and you also have a load of like detecting molecules in like your immune system and your recognition of invader versus self cells. And depending on what molecules you have present on the surface of your blood cells, there are different combinations of what can be a donor and what can be a recipient. So for example, A can take A and A can take O. B can take B, but it can't take A, but it can take O, stuff like that. So
And the positive and negative does also matter in this, because if you have positive, you can get negative. If you have negative, you shouldn't really get positive.
that sounds like my mental health.
All right, you get a new nerd dice.
Yeah, thank you.
You also have a bonus action to use on your turn, but that's that's not extra. That's just standard.
I'm gonna take another mana potion.
Okay.
And I get I'm gonna use that nerd dice. That is gonna be an 11.
Okay, that just saves. Yeah.
All right, that's my turn.
All right, Blurta, you're up.
So I'm going to throw in an arbitrary science fact too while we're at it. So, like in mammals such as ourselves and other things, we are all used to having red blood due to the presence of hemoglobin. That is not actually universally the case in a lot of invertebrates, including like arachnids and mollusks. They have a copper-based compound instead called hemocyanin, which gives their blood a distinctive blue tinge. Thank you.
Which is why lobsters aren't red until you cook them.
I didn't. I hadn't made that association, but that makes sense.
Yep. All right. What would you like to do with the rest of your
I'm
turn?
gonna shoot it with some blasts.
Go for it.
One of those is a nat 1, so
That will miss.
only barely though. This thing.
It's
the other
only
one-
because it's in that one that it misses.
Yeah. It's like, so only one blast for me this time, and that'll be.
And you cannot push it back, so Muck remains grappled.
Yep. And that's minimum damage again. This online dice is being a dick today, so that's only 6 points of damage this time.
6 points of damage. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, did that? Yeah, sorry, that's right. Yeah, ignore me.
Cool. Anything else in your turn?
Um,
You're on deck.
nah, I'm good. I'm fighting still.
Cool. You're up.
How is this thing looking?
It was bloodied, but then it gained some temporary hit points when it hit Muck with the necrotic damage.
Okay. Just a general question, but is this like a blood ooze, or is this just an ooze? It is absolutely a blood ooze.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a blood amniote specifically.
Okay.
Amniote, as in like to do with like embryos.
As in, it looks a little bit like an anemone. Because of all the tentacles.
Like amnion, like
Yes.
amniotic sac and all that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, cool. For now, I'm just going to try and hit it with a chromatic orb.
Go for it.
First level, I'm going to try cold damage, I think.
Okay.
See what happens. D20. That is 13 on the die for 19.
That hits.
And that's 3d8. Cold damage. 2 8s and a 5. 21.
Okay. 21. Which.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm just doing more complex math than normal.
Sorry, what damage type was that?
Cold.
Nice.
And we're gonna get to that.
I did
21.
wonder. Mhm.
As it gets hit with this cold damage, it hardens and begins to coagulate. Its movement speed is reduced by 10 feet. It cannot move through small spaces anymore, and it's going to do additional bludgeoning damage with its melee attacks as it hardens.
How long does this last for?
The end of its next turn.
Ah, okay, all right.
However, it has also lost its temporary hit points.
Good.
Cool.
Anything else in your turn, Em?
As a bonus action, I'm going to take a potion, just a regular one.
Go for it.
Well,
Muck,
sort of-
you're up.
I'm just trying to think, if something is basically frozen, is it better to go slashing damage or just hit it with my fists?
Your sword was pretty nice.
Do you have
Yeah.
any bludgeoning damage to shatter it?
Only fists. Okay, I'm gonna use my sword because it's got extra fun stuff it can do. Cool.
That's how we all make money on the side, with our only fists.
Only fists. Good lord.
An episode
Okay.
title for us.
Natural 2 on the first one.
What is the total?
11 to hit.
That hits.
11 hits.
Yes.
Okay.
And that one
It's not wearing plate mail.
I forgot. And then my second hit was 21. So both of
Okay.
them.
Yep. Go ahead and roll
yeah.
the damage for the first.
Bada boom. What's that? The first one is 13.
Mm-hmm. Reduced to 6.
Second one is 12.
Also reduced to 6. It is still up, but barely. It is
Good.
clinging to the last droplets of energy contained within it. And it's also now its turn. It's gonna see whether it gets its blood call ability back. It does not. So instead it's just gonna wail on Muck with 4 tentacles. Natural 2, natural 6. Natural 4, nat 19. For a total
Chrono
of
Shift.
26 to hit.
Chrono Shift on that one.
Natural 3.
Yes! Thank you, Em.
just like ding 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 ding. Just
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Nimbo, it's your turn.
Okay, let's try and just take it home. So I'm gonna turn back to this ooze, raise my club again, my shillelagh. 17 to hit.
Hits.
12 bludgeoning, 5 thunder.
How do you want to do this?
Whew. Okay, so I kind of just been kind of getting this blood back into Muck, and as that's happening, these tentacles are whipping round and pinging off her armor, and I turn round to the ooze, and I'm just like, "Do you mind?" And as the club makes contact with it, like, we see a kind of freeze frame of like the club just making contact with the surface of the ooze, and then this kind of this ripple going through the blob, and then it just kind of splits, and for a moment it's hanging there in the air, and then all gravity takes over, and it just and this big pile of bloody jelly, like a rattlesnake experiment, just onto the ground and starts to seep gradually into the cursed earth.
And with that, you have less than a minute to wrench the door open before the Nagas, the bone creatures, return when the turn undead wears off. But you manage, between Muck and Nimbo, you manage to wrench that door open and sort of like slam it shut behind you. And you find yourself in the ruined temple of Chaos. It is eerily quiet. You see a main altar in the center with 4 statues, 2 carved of white stone and 2 of black, surrounding it on each corner. And you don't see Wishara, and you don't see any other doors. You're gonna have to find where she might be, but we're gonna do that next time. Can you please pick your MVP for this session?
I think M's Chronal Shift to stop that hit on a low health muck was pretty cool.
I think Limbo
Blurter
being
freeing muck from the grapple. Sorry.
yes, true.
Nimbo's
Limbo-
Grapple.
Rather
Nippo,
than,
what? Sorry, you go.
I was to say, Muck just like, fuck it, I'm gonna jump off the plane, basically.
And absolutely nailing it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Nimbo healing everyone's level of exhaustion, almost everybody. Sorry, Blurter. Because otherwise that would have been a hard session.
I think Muck's superhero landing was pretty epic, and that's really signaled a tone shift in the fight from
Yeah.
us being under attack to us taking the fight to these things.
Absolutely, I agree.
Having said that, not to dismiss the contributions of your Turn Undead.
I'm glad I finally got to get my turn undead
Yeah.
out.
That's
Yeah,
so
Yeah, make
I
it
true.
didn't
leave.
get to use those creatures' reaction, and that could have ended up bad. Would have allowed them to crit on a 15 to 20.
That's disgusting.
Okay, then
So-
Khalil definitely gets it, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think let's just
Nimbo, you got it.
Donate
Nimbo
it
MVP for this session. Let's see how you use that in the coming fights and struggles. We will see you all next time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great evening, folks. Goodbye.
See everyone.
Bye.